Park in Houston, Texas. Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, the Astros meet the Pittsburgh Pirates. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. The Astros 6-2 on this homestand and really rolled to a 9-1 win last night, JD.
Yeah, playing much better at home. First couple months of the season, the Astros didn't fare too well here at Minute Maid Park. Just 9 wins in their first 24 home games. They've turned that around, so it means another winning season for the Astros here at Minute Maid Park. The 9th consecutive year they've had a winning season here. And here's the reason why. Hitting .274 at home, second best in the National League. And Wandy Rodriguez, his .158 home ERA, leads all of Major League Baseball. So the Astros doing their fair share of winning and some dramatic wins, 2-8 in walk-off fashion.
They've kept it going at home. Now can they add to it tonight? With Brian Moeller taking the hill against the Pittsburgh Pirates. His mound opponent is Houston native Ross Ohlendorf, who leads the Buccos and wins with 11. Game 2 is next. Houston is brought to you by Bud Light, by the Ford F-150, by Jack in the Box, and by the Progressive Insurance Group. On this Saturday night here in downtown Houston, a lot of fans have been peeking around at different college football games, including that U of H game today. What a nice win for the Cougars at Oklahoma State. Right here, it's baseball, and these fans getting ready for this Saturday night encounter. The Astros are 9-4 against the Pirates, and that audience will be joining us from that football game in just a few minutes. And as the Astros take the field, there was a special ceremony. The Media Wall of Honor inductee was honored posthumously. Our good friend Neil Holfeld, Houston Chronicle writer, his wife Lynn, 2 boys there, along with Greg Lucas, and Astros Tal Smith, Drayton McClain on the field, and Neil's plaque will be is already up outside on the wall, JD.
And Neil hanging next door to Anita Martini and Gene Elston, so honored the previous 2 seasons, and now Neil honored it. Boy, Neil, a great writer, really well respected and admired by all the players over the years. But first and foremost, Neil Holfeld was a baseball guy. You know, he was a baseball guy that happened to write. Loved the game and is really, really sorely missed.
Yes, he is. Now the starting lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Brian Moeller faces this 9. It's Andrew McCutchen leading off in center field. Andy LaRoche at third base. Garrett Jones right field. Brian Dome at catcher. Lastings Millage left field. Steve Pierce first base. Ronnie Cedeno shortstop. Ramon Vasquez second base. Ross Ollendorf pitcher.
Brian Moeller works for the Astros tonight. Made 25 starts, completed one of them, as a matter of fact. It was against the Pirates back in May. 8-10 his record with a 5.10 ERA. The Astros are 13-12 when Brian Moeller is the starting pitcher this year. And they've won 3 of his last 4 starts. Defensively, it looks like this tonight. On the field, pretty much the same as always. Lee Bourne in Pence, left, center, and right. Jeff Keppinger back in there, back feeling better. He's at third base tonight. Tejada short, Matsui and Berkman on the right side. Chris Coase behind the plate does the catching.
And here at Minute Maid Park, where, as J.D. mentioned, the Astros now made this another winning home season. They are 41-32. They've taken 11 of their last 15. Cecil Cooper's club has climbed to 69-72. 3 games below 500, looking to finish strong here at home before going out on the road to Cincinnati and Milwaukee. Pirates will head for Los Angeles after their game here tomorrow. Andrew McCutchen starts the night at .275. He has 11 homers, 47 runs batted in. McCutchen. Strike one for Brian Moeller. McCutchen, a real speed merchant. Has stolen 16 bases in 20 attempts. He has 6 triples this year. Can really fly. No balls, 2 strikes to the 22-year-old speedster from Fort Meade, Florida. He was 0 for 4 last night. Moeller is 6-7 lifetime against the Buccos. Listen to create a 1-2 count with the home plate umpire Jim Joyce, Bill Miller, Adrian Johnson, and Darrell Cousins on this crew.
You know when Jim is in the house behind the plate, he'll let you hear it.
Moeller gets a foul ball from McCutchen with LaRoche on deck. Brian, with 8 wins, 10 losses, has a 5.10 ERA, and the last 5 games he's never allowed more than 3 runs. Last time out, 3 runs in 5 2/3. 89 pitches, a no decision against the Phillies. The Astros won that game 4-3.
This is his 4th start against the Pirates this year. He's won 1, dropped a couple. Had that complete game we talked about back at the end of May against the Pirates, and tonight's Pirate starter was the pitcher that night as well, Ollendorf. Brian's first complete game in about a decade.
Brian Moeller throws in the dirt. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. We welcome the Fox Sports Houston audience after they watch that thrilling University of Houston win over Oklahoma State. They toppled one of the top 10 teams. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays with you today. This game just getting underway with McCutchen leading it off. And the 3-2 pitch is dribbled foul outside third. Brian Moeller has really been effective and consistent lately. Last time out, he left the Astros trailing by a run. A couple of men on base. He'd given up back-to-back homers to Howard and Ibanez of the Phillies, but survived that. Wound up with a no decision. The Astros have a winning record in his starts, 13-12. Fouled away. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes. McCutchen, a first-round draft choice in 05. He was the 11th player drafted that year.
And not only a speed demon, but he's strong too. He's got power. He's hit 11 home runs, including 3 in 1 game. And you watch him take BP, and he'll hit some bombs.
Fly ball to right. Hunter Pence over near the line. 1 out. And Moeller had to work pretty hard to get that 1 out. McCutchen made him throw 8 pitches. Andy LaRoche comes up hitting .246. He has 9 homers, 51 runs batted in. Pirates had an off day before this series started on Thursday. He came in early to see his brother, Adam, with the Braves, and also visit with some other folks that he knew. There is ball 1.
There are ex-Pirates scattered all over the league.
Yes. Well, Andy went deep last night. His brother Adam hit a home run here in the previous series. So it's been a good Home run week for the LaRoches. Ground ball, good play by Keppinger to his left. He'd been out for almost a week with some back problems. Made that play well for out number 2.
An early challenge, a quick move to the left, and a good solid throw. 2 quick outs for Moeller.
Now the exciting rookie Garrett Jones, 305, 19 homers, 38 runs batted in. He leads all major league rookies in homers. He set a record for left-handed hitting rookies for home runs by a Pirate. He looks at ball 1. Jones can play first base as he did last night when he went 2 for 4, or tonight he's in right field. He's hit .370 his last 12 games with 4 homers and 8 runs batted in. This one to left center field. Michael Bourne cruising over for a 1-2-3 start for Brian Moeller. Coming up against Ross Ollendorf with this lineup for Cecil Cooper, Michael Bourne in center field, Kazuo Matsui second base, Lance Berkman first base, cleanup man in left field Carlos Lee, Miguel Tejada shortstop, Hunter Pence right field, Jeff Keppinger third base, Chris Coast catcher, Brian Moeller pitching.
Ross Ollendorf works for the Pirates tonight, having a very nice year, 11-9, 27 starts with a .397 ERA. He's been quite good since the All-Star break, a .270 ERA and 9 starts since the Midsummer Classic. So a winning record on a team that's 30 games below 500. That's pretty darn good.
Yes, it is. Michael Bourne takes ball 1. 295 for Michael, 3 homers, 35 runs batted in. He's got to be exuberant at the Cougars football win. We were talking about it during batting practice. He wanted updates on the score. 1 ball, 1 strike. Michael 4 for 12 against Ollendorf in his career. Last night's game he had a hit and a sac fly. This one goes over third, foul. He got a heavy dose of off-speed stuff leading off the home first last night from Charlie Morton. Struck out on that occasion but came back to single in the third and scored. Drove in a run in the 7th with the sac fly. Fielded by the pitcher Ollendorf, and he takes care of out number 1.
Yeah, and Michael's gotten pretty adept at hitting the fastball the other way, a middle in fastball and middle away fastball, shooting it to left field. I think he's going to see a lot of soft stuff. And then the occasional fastball in. We'll look at the Pirates defensively now. Speed in the outfield with Millage, McCutcheon, and then Andrew Jones over, or excuse me, Garrett Jones in right. Andy LaRoche, Ronnie Cedeno on the left side, Ramon Vasquez, Steve Pierce. A different look on the right side of the infield. Ryan Domick did the catching last night. Boy, he had a tough night back there. Balls in the dirt he had to contend with. Foul balls. Beating him up.
Yeah, he did. Very physical night. Now Matsui, 251 for Kazuo. Take strike one. 5 homers, 38 runs batted in. And last night, Matsui had 3 hits, drove in 2 runs, and scored 2. He could have had a 4th, but Cedeno made a good play to get him in the first inning. Takes a close one, and the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike on Matsui. Ohlendorf struck out 11 in his last start against St. Louis in 8 innings. Got a no decision, though. Lined over shortstop to left field. Whoa. Lights for Lastings Millage. 2 outs.
It would be very difficult. It will be very difficult to drop a base hit in front of Millage or McCutcheon. They both play very shallow. Most left fielders in this ballpark shorten up a little bit. And McCutcheon very shallow in center. And Millage shallow in left, but he had the lights to contend with.
Now Lance Berkman, the drought has ended on home runs and extra base hits. Now he has put on a burst the last couple of games. Throwing that one back, strike one. Lance opens the night at 277 with 20 homers, 71 runs batted in. He had a homer, a double, 2 walks last night, driving in a pair. And the night before, a 3-run homer, a single, and a walk. Get to those numbers for the season. Strike call makes it 0-2 for Lance. Carlos Lee on deck. Lance 6 for 11 with a homer against Ohlendorf. The curveball is down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ohlendorf with that recent success you talked about since the All-Star break. On a club which is 54 and 85, people should really be taking notice of this Houston-born right-hander. And those folks have taken notice. Well, there's a lot of family in the stands tonight.
I remember seeing 97 miles an hour from him before, but that one lit up the radar gun against the Astros since they're not gone so well for him. ERA up over 8, 0-4. He's got the basic arsenal of curveball, slider, changeup to complement that good heater.
Lance works the count full after falling behind 0-2. Ohlendorf has lost both of his starts this year to the Astros. He lost to Mike Hampton in Pittsburgh in April. He lost to Brian Moeller in Pittsburgh in May. Both times he gave up 8 hits and 4 runs in 5 innings. Fastball lashed to left field. Millage has it. That's tagged, but it's out number 3. No score, no base runners through 1.
The Pirates and Astros head to the second. They are scoreless. Last game of the homestand tomorrow and continue the 10th season celebration. The first 10,000 fans will receive a bronze replica Minute Maid Park, courtesy of the Methodist Hospital System. Plus, all kids 15 and under can score $1 drumsticks presented by Dryers. And don't forget, kids free tickets for the final 7 home games of the season. For more information and tickets, go to astros.com. Bill?
Thank you, Bart. You've been working on something that should come out well. We'll talk about that as we move along. As Ryan Domet, that's in the second inning. There's ball 1. Been doing a lot of interviewing today, Bart, for a special show coming up. We'll ask you about that after you see the numbers on Domet, who had that tough physical night last night. JD talked about. And he takes that one for a ball. Domet was 2 for 4. Tell us what you're up to.
Well, we're working on a show on following Tommy Manzella from the moment he got the call that he was coming up to the big leagues. Everything a kid has to go through when he gets that call. All the family he has to get in touch with. Got to talk to dad and sisters and everybody, and all the emotions and getting all your gear packed and getting to the big league club and what all he goes through when he gets there. It's really a neat sort of walkthrough of what happens to a kid when he gets that first call up to the big leagues, sort of a behind-the-scenes look. And I think it's really going to be an interesting show. And Manzella's a great kid. He's one of, you and I were talking about it earlier, Brownie. He's just one of those guys you root for because he's such a good guy, and he's worked so hard to get here.
Yeah, and he got his first major league hit last night. Any idea yet when the show is going to air?
It's probably going to take us a couple of weeks to put it together. I'm not sure of an exact air date yet, but we will let fans know when it's ready.
Sounds good. Thank you. Hastings Millage takes strike 1, 282, 2 homers, 15 runs batted in for Millage. He's hit .355 in his last 22 games. The center field, Michael Bourne moves in. 2 down for Moeller, and that's 5 straight for Bryant. Here is that first major league hit from last night for Tommy Manzella. Donnie Veal.
Chris Johnson got his the night before, a little flare to right field, and Manzella with an infield knock. Nice to get that first one out of the way early.
Absolutely. Steve Pierce takes strike 1, 224 for Pierce, 3 homers, 13 runs batted in. Later on, we'll be hearing about Lance Berkman's first major league hit. Moeller works inside. That makes the count 1 ball, 1 strike on Pierce. As JD mentioned, he did not play last night. He's driven in 7 runs in his last 11 starts. He can play the outfield as well as first. Little roller out to short, brings in Tejada. Moeller is retired the first 6. No score. Looking for the first base runner of this game. It's Carlos Lee leading it off against Ohlendorf. And taking strike one. 306 for Carlos, 24 homers, 92 runs batted in now. After the 3-run homer in the 7th inning last night, he was 1 for 4. Dorf with a 1-1 count now will approach Lee, who is once again targeting that 100 RBI figure. That would give him 5 straight years of 100 or more since 2005. And his 6th overall in his career. 1-2.
Well, last year really impressive because he missed a big chunk of time after he got hurt.
Moises Alou has more in his first 3 years with the Astros in the RBI department. Popped up, Pierce over into foul ground. Tonight's Geico quote comes from Lance Berkman. He spoke with Greg Lucas after the game last night and remembered his first career major league hit.
I went 0 for 10 to start my career, and then I finally got a single. So, yeah, I kind of know what those guys are going through. It seems like it's been a long time ago, but I vividly remember it.
They all remember that first one. Miguel Tejada is next. He's banged out 167 hits this year, 3rd best in the National League, while hitting 300. Bounces it to the left side. LaRoche in. Both these pitchers are on their game so far.
Yeah, throwing strikes and the hitters attacking early, so some easy outs.
Coming up later in our Dodge Grab Live feature, Wesley Wright tells us his bucket list. Stay tuned.
Ohlendorf in high school played for longtime major leaguer Keith Moreland. And then when he went to college at Princeton, he played for former major leaguer Scott Bradley. So he's had some very good coaching coming up as an amateur.
2 guys have been on the receiving end.
And the smarter guys. There's not too many Princeton guys running around Major League Baseball.
289 for Hunter Pence, 23 homers. He's driven in 68. Ooh, did he ever get himself in a swing mode on that pitch? Strike one.
He was looking for a fastball. He got it, so he attacked it, but it was up and in. Well, Ohlendorf gets good movement in on the righties.
As you saw there, no balls, 2 strikes. Hunter has hit 406 on this homestand, 13 for 32 with 3 homers, 9 runs batted in. Hunter 1 for 4 last night, an opposite field double. That was in the Astros' 6-run 7th inning when they broke it open. Cincinnati down the Cubs today at Chicago, 7-5. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Arthur Rhodes won that one, and Carlos Marmol was the loser with Francisco Cordero picking up save number 34. The Astros trailed the Cubs by 4 games for 2nd place when the day began. Saw a lot of youngsters here last night too. Fireworks after the game last night, and the Astros themselves put on quite a show before that. Ohlendorf has won 3 of his last 4 decisions. In his 11 victories, the Pirates have scored 63 runs when Ohlendorf has been on the mound. A total of 75 runs in those 11 starts, period. Two balls and 2 strikes to Hunter with Jeff Keppinger on deck. His 9 losses, the Bucks have scored 4 runs with Ohlendorf on the mound. They've been shut out 3 times. Upstairs for ball 3.
Well, the Pirates have not been a very good offensive club all year long, and they play in a good pitcher's ballpark. So obviously, that fate is probably fallen upon all their starting pitchers.
Ross, a 4th-round draft choice of Arizona in 04. Fielded by LaRoche. He gets a hustling Pence. Still no base runners through 2 for either club. Minute Maid Park, the Pirates have lost 4 in a row, and they have lost 12 straight on the road. They're 18-51 away from PNC Park. Ronnie Cedeno leads it off for them in the 3rd inning. Strike 1 to the shortstop, 286, 5 homers, 18 runs batted in for Cedeno. Last night he was 1 for 3.
No argument from Cedeno, but just an incredulous look. Really? You call that a strike?
No balls, 2 strikes. This kind of a start, the hitters might be shaking their heads as this game progresses. Delivers, and it's 1-2. The Astros have had 7 quality starts in their last 9 games.
He doesn't say anything.
No.
Just gives him a good long look.
Still a 1-ball, 2-strike count. The Atlanta Braves at St. Louis this afternoon. Knocked off the Cardinals 7-6 with 2 in the 9th inning. Mike Gonzalez won that one, beating Ryan Franklin. Rafael Soriano got his 24th save, and Tim Hudson hit a home run. Strikeout for Moeller, that's number 1.
Still looking back as he goes back to the dugouts. I think that first called strike just kind of took him out of his game a little bit. Very aggressive, swinging at some bad pitches, and ultimately chases the slider out of the strike zone.
Seven straight retired by Moeller to start. Now it's Ramon Vasquez, 243, 1 homer. Driven at 14, and he gets strike 1. Moeller threw just 21 pitches in the first 2 innings. Vasquez started at second base Tuesday against the Cubs. He had a good game, going 2 for 4 with an RBI. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last night it was Delvin Young starting at second for the Buccos. The Astros 9-4 against Pittsburgh, 5-2 this season here in this ballpark against the Buccos. Jammed him there, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Vasquez with Ohlendorf on deck. Vasquez has started 18 times at shortstop, 13 at second, and 9 at third. Good defensive player. takes that one for ball 2.
He's kind of the old man on this club. We got so many youngsters.
He's 33. Right, on this club, that's old.
Currently have the smallest payroll in Major League Baseball, and most likely the youngest team.
3 balls, 2 strikes. A lot of youthful faces there on the rail. Russell looks at ball 4. So Moeller now has his first base runner, and it's Ohlendorf, the pitcher, coming up.
Average age of this Pirate club, 25 years of age. Vasquez at 33 is the oldest. A bunch of 20-something and early 20-somethings. With more on the way. Some prospects that we're very excited about. Pedro Alvarez, former #1 pick. Could be in a Pirate uniform next year.
Brad Lincoln had a good year for them. The University of Houston right-hander who was a first-round pick a couple of years ago. Maybe 3 years ago. Ohlendorf takes strike 1.
I mentioned Ohlendorf being a Princeton man, and he did his thesis on the effectiveness of the Major League Draft. Is it the most cost-efficient way to acquire talent?
Oh, that would be good reading.
Yeah. If you're that smart, do you even bother with an agent?
No. He bunts through that one. No balls, 2 strikes. Ohlendorf was traded by the Yankees in a multiplayer deal to Pittsburgh. Pirates quite happy with the take they got for Xavier Nady and Damaso Marte. They got Ohlendorf, Daniel McCutchen, who's in the rotation for Pittsburgh right now, Jeff Karstens, who's pitched for them this year, and the talented rookie Jose Tabata. He's an outfielder, fast. He reached AAA this year. They're enthused about his progress. 1-2. Also, Ohlendorf's mother, Patty, has been the vice president for institutional relations and legal affairs at the University of Texas. His father, Curtis, who's now retired, also worked for UT. He was the assistant director of library systems automations. Wanted up the first base line. It is going foul for the strikeout. Lance Berkman stayed with it. He was sure it would trickle foul, and it did. Otherwise, Ohlendorf makes it first and second, and he gets a bunt hit.
Trying to guide that ball towards first base, and with the spin. Just waiting, and almost waited too long, though. The ball looked like it was thinking about drifting back fair.
Sure did.
You don't have to get it real foul. You just have to get it foul.
That's strikeout number 2 for Moeller, and now it's McCutchen batting. The Ohlendorf family, well represented, we can tell. McCutchen played at AAA Indianapolis last season. He was an all-star there. Bounces one foul. The trade of Nate McLouth to Atlanta. Center field was his, and he has really cashed in. JD mentioned that 3 home run game, and he had 6 runs batted in that win over Washington earlier this year. So there was the power in addition to the speed, which has been on display. He was a high school football star in Florida. Fouled away, and it's a no ball, 2 strike count to McCutchen. Tampa Bay and Boston are in a rain delay. They were rained out last night. Washington and Florida in a rain delay at Florida. The Mets outslugged the Phillies 10-9 at Citizens Bank Park. With home runs from Carlos Beltran, his 9th, and 2 from David Wright to give him 10. That's getting some people healthy again now. They should get Carlos Delgado back if reports are true before the end of the season. Phillies got number 11 from Pedro Feliz. Chase Utley at his 31st. Raul Ibanez his 31st.
Good try. Brian has been much better against left-handed hitters than righties this year. His ability to command the outside corner to left-handers is the reason why, with the sinker and the changeup. And he's made a real nice pitch just off that outside corner to a right-handed hitter. Could be a real difference maker for him. McCutcheon in high school hit .709.
709? Is that is ridiculous. Have you ever heard of a batting average that high for a full high school season?
The other one I remember from years ago when we used to talk about I'm drawing a blank. Come on, the Cubs, shortstop, the cannon for the run.
Sean Dunston?
Yeah, Sean Dunston in New York City. As a prep player. Yeah, McCutcheon 709, 11 home runs, drove in 28, 8 doubles, 3 triples, walked 23 times, and struck out 6 times. And playing his high school baseball in Florida, I imagine the competition was fairly legit.
Yes.
Not like he was in Idaho or something.
No.
Probably just annoyed everybody from Idaho. Hey, we play good ball up in Idaho.
But you made a wise choice because of Chris Coast and Darren Erstad being from North Dakota.
That's right.
You stayed away from that state.
I did a quick run through of our roster. I don't think we got any Idahoans.
Don't remember anybody from Idaho and the Astros. There probably has been somewhere down through the years. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Brian Moeller. The Astros have won 3 of his last 4 starts. Tap foul. Interesting reading in the Houston Chronicle today with Richard Justice's notes. Did you happen to peruse that yet?
What did Richard say? I know I looked at the paper this morning.
Well, he was writing about the Astros' plans for next year, and Richard indicated that Brian Moeller's in the plans to return for the rotation. And also some young guys apparently are in for some playing time. Some of the guys we've been seeing here. Tommy Manzella, he hasn't started a game yet or played shortstop yet.
Was that Richard's perception, or was that somebody said, Richard, here's the case, this is what's going to happen?
Well, we'll have to read that again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Get the exact wording. But the possibility that Wesley Wright could be a starting pitcher.
Yeah, I know that's good. They've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah,
it's a good idea.
And also, he indicated that the Astros plan to try to bring back Jose Valverde and LaTroy Hawkins, who are headed for free agency. Runner going. Little roller out the shortstop. Miguel Tejada. Better hurry. And he did. Big Ed McCutcheon. And make it. No runs, no hits, and a man stranded. No score. Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by Dodge, by Geico, and by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. Cloudy night in Houston. Hopefully more rain is on the way. Still in need of that around this area. We've had some. Now it's Keppinger to lead it off on a cotton candy night in Houston.
Yeah, why bother with the bun? Just go straight to the dog.
Get right to the meat of it. Jeff Keppinger out of the lineup, as we mentioned, with a bad back for the last week or so. They strike one to a .259 hitter with 5 homers, 25 runs batted in. Left the game on September 4th with back tightness, so he's missed the last 7. And Jeff Blum is still trying to let his injuries heal and get back in the lineup as well.
Now Blummer probably could pinch hit tonight if needed.
Sprained his ankle and had some bruising. To right field, Garrett Jones. That's 7 straight for Ohlendorf.
So here's Richard Justice from the Chronicle this morning.
Okay.
He says, talking about Wesley Wright, he has been one of the topics of discussion as the baseball staff begins working on a blueprint for 2010. Third baseman Chris Johnson, shortstop Tommy Manzella, second baseman Edwin Masonette, and catcher Jason Castro could all be in the opening day lineup. Could all. Could all. Right. So just depends what direction they go.
Chris Coast to left field. Hastings Milledge.
There's no attribution to anybody in the Astros organization, but Richard's is well connected.
Yes, he is.
He's got Oswalt, Wandy, and Norris as locks for rotation. Brian Moeller almost certainly will be offered a contract for 2010. I think Brian has an option. I think there may be an option.
Okay.
His contract, mutual option, I believe.
Well, Brian will have the option of whether to swing the bat or not and try to become the first base runner for the Astros. 0-26, 1 hit in 38 at bats. And then strike one. Ohlendorf just rolling through the lineup, although the Astros hit a couple balls pretty well to left field in the first inning. Matsui and Berkman.
Ohlendorf is a nice, solid delivery. I like what he does at the top. He's a little bit of a turn to make sure he stays back, keeps his weight back over the rubber. A little pitch right here. He kind of gets it all together before he goes home.
Well, he has retired the first 9 in this game. That's his first strikeout, and it's no score.
Top half of the fourth, nothing but zeros on the scoreboard. The MD Anderson Cancer Center brings you this date in Astros history. On this date in 1986, Billy Hatcher had a 2-run single. The Astros won the game. They jumped up and down. They beat the Padres 5-3. 3 runs in the 9th. And Dave Smith came on to close it out, got the save, and that was his 30th. He became the first Astro to record 30 saves in a season.
That was quite a finish to that season. Now, in 2009, first 3 innings have been very good for both these starters, Moeller and Ohlendorf. And it's LaRoche, Jones, and Domet due up in the 4th inning. Andy LaRoche grounded out in the 1st. He's gone deep now twice in his last 3 starts. Little nubber. Coast to Berkman. Moeller gets out number 1 easily.
Everything has been easy for the pitchers tonight.
Garrett Jones has created some difficult sledding, though. The hitting that he's done this year. In his first 9 games this month, he has 3 homers, 7 runs batted in while hitting .378. Looking like an excellent acquisition. Moeller delivers strike 1. Jones hit a fly ball to center on a 1-0 count in the 1st inning. That one crowds him a bit. It's 1-1. 28-year-old rookie from Tinley Park, Illinois, listed at 6'4". He's been in the big leagues before, though, with Minnesota. In 07, he had 77 at bats that year, but not enough to rob him of that rookie status. Last year, he was at Rochester all season, hit 23 homers, drove in 92 runs there. He was drafted in the 14th round in '99 by Atlanta. Matsui rushes in, makes the flip to Berkman. And Bart Ennis is somewhere in the ballpark. Bart?
Well, we're down here with our progressive fan of the game, Brownie, Reed Fredericks. This young man came to the ballpark today and donated a lot of baseball equipment. Tell us what you did.
I've been collecting baseball equipment over the past month for the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Houston, and I've been playing baseball since I was 4, and that's what inspired me to do this, and I did this for my bar mitzvah project.
And how much equipment did we donate, Mom?
We donated over 100 bats, over 50 gloves, about 70 baseball helmets, and $200 in cash and checks, and lots of balls and lots of equipment.
That's outstanding, and we want to reward that good deed. You are the progressive fan of the game for that, Reed. Way to go, buddy. Brownie, back up to you.
All right. Reed, great job.
Sharp guy.
2 balls, no strikes to Ryan Domet. That's the Baseball Tomorrow Fund. Equipment drives support the growth of youth baseball and softball. In tight to Domet. And the count comes to 2 balls and a strike. The Astros, as well as that donated equipment, are presenting the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Houston with a $5,000 grant from the Baseball Tomorrow Fund to help them purchase needed equipment. Add to what they already have. 3 balls, 1 strike for Brian Moeller. Usually he keeps the walks under control. He walked Vasquez in the 3rd inning. Two-out walk to Domet. 2nd walk for Moeller. Now he moves on to Milledge. And we get Aflac trivia. Aflac! See what this is all about. Rank the following from most to least: Tejada and stolen bases. Oh, okay. Tejada, Lee, Quintero, Norris. Steals, sac flies, runs, and at bats. Wow. Can you make anything out of that?
Yeah, I mean, I
okay.
get the question. I have no idea the answer.
I don't get the question.
Well, who are there more Lee sac flies than there are Tejada stolen bases or Quintero runs or Norris at bats?
Well,
so Carlos a couple of years ago had all those sack flies, but not as many this year. It's kind of like the SAT. Carlos is to horses as Lance is to what?
I'm going to say the fewest of all of those is Quintero run score. Sharply hit past diving Keppinger into left field. First hit of the ball game comes from Millage.
It could be a trick question. It could be all the same.
Okay.
Now 2 out walk, 2 out knock. The Pirates with first scoring opportunity of the evening. Millage is an intriguing guy, a nice package of talent. He's had some issues along the way. If he's able to put that behind him, Pirates got a pretty good player on their hands. He's a guy who came up with the Mets and didn't really fit in with that veteran clubhouse over there.
Strike to Steve Pearce.
Like there was one rookie faux pas after another for Millage when he first joined the Mets.
Yeah, that did not go over. Pearce grounded out first time up. Pearce, 26 years old, from Lakeland, Florida, and the University of South Carolina. Grounds one on through into left field, and Tony Beasley will put on a stop sign. Now they get a runner hung up. 2 guys on third base. Take your pick, Chris Cote. Out! On the tag by Jeff Keppinger. Domet went around third with a full head of steam, and then he tried to apply the brakes and get back. Millage was right on his heels, and it's no runs, 2 hits, 2 left, and a 0-0 game.
This one I think is on Tony Beasley. He was sending Domet all the way and then put him a late stop sign.
Here they are. Bud Norris is number 1 with 12 at-bats. Quintero scored 10 runs. Lee, 7 sacrifice flies. Tejada, 4 steals. That's where they rank.
Oh, I got it wrong.
You did? So did I.
I don't know if I got any of them right.
We are not allowed to play Aflac Trivia, actually, for the rest of the season. We're now disqualified from our game, and we'll see you again in 2010, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us.
And see Beasley cranking that right arm, and then very late throws up the stop sign, and that creates a logjam down there at third base. And Domet trying to hang off the base and the chance to advance if the throw went back to second. It's pretty much a losing proposition for the Pirates at this point. Domet probably should have gotten back to the bag and let Millage try to scramble back to second.
Right.
And I think after the play, Beasley went to Domet and Millage both and said, hey, that's on me, guys. So I'm talking to both players.
That's the way it appeared. It was a little too late to give that indication. Michael Bourne now takes strike 1.
But I like the fact that he did it. You know, it's a very you're in the spotlight with that job, and you're going to make mistakes over the course of the season. You're going to send some guys when you shouldn't, and hold some guys when you should. I like the approach of a coach who's willing to step up and say, no, that's not on the player. This wasn't bad base running. I just made a bad decision.
Roche camped in tight at third base. Barry Hill on the left. Beasley. It's 2 balls, 1 strike to Michael Bourne. Willendorf has mowed down the first 9 Astros. It's 12 and 13 lifetime in the big leagues. Bourne to right field. Garrett Jones. Quite a start for Ohlendorf, who's shooting for win number 12. He leads the Pirates staff. Zach Duke has 10 wins. They're the only 2 guys in double figures. Matsui lined to left field in the first inning.
When Ohlendorf is going good, he's a talented pitcher who's really smart and knows how to pitch. When he's not going well, he thinks too much because he's too smart.
You're right. There's a beautiful bunt by Matsui, and the swipe tag missed him. Matsui becomes the first Houston base runner on a well-placed drag bunt. Pierce tried to swipe him and missed.
Pierce comes hard and comes up empty. Good call. Casual, he's had hamstring and back problems at times this year, but obviously feeling pretty good now because he's been bunting, he's been stealing bases, bouncing around out there defensively. Takes a lot of heat. Because he's on a 3-year deal, and people feel like he hasn't really lived up to it. But when healthy, he's a pretty good player.
That's Berkman lined out to left field. Quick throw to first.
And, the Astros committed to 3 years to him. It's not like they're giving him $15 million a year.
Right.
$15 million I believe for the entire 3 years. In today's economy and today's baseball, that's not a whole lot of money for an everyday position player.
Matsui dives back this time. Matsui has 12 hits on this homestand. And 17 steals for the season in 20 tries.
Ohlendorf's been good at holding runners. He's been 10 steals, but 7 caught. And he's got quick feet on that pickoff move. That's probably part of the reason why there's been some people caught. Tighten up that lead a little bit.
Strike 1 to Berkman. And it's reaching the 20 home run figure for every year in this decade. Joining Carlos Lee and Alex Rodriguez as players who have done that in the majors, who are active. Runner going with a huge jump and no chance for Bowman whatsoever to prevent Matsui from stealing his 18th. Number 100 of his career.
Huge jump, and Ohlendorf tries to shorten his delivery with a smaller leg kick, but it's still not a real quick delivery. Matsui cruising into second base without a throw. Something's barking.
Hamstring, maybe. 2 balls and a strike to Berkman.
He's limping a little bit out there.
He has had off and on problems with the back. Stole 306 bases in Japan. Berkman to right. Garrett Jones in position to make a throw to third base. Matsui tagging, and he's going. Jones heaves it to third base, and it's cut off. 2 outs.
And reaching back for that hamstring again, but he was running well. Maybe he's just ripped open a strawberry sliding. As much as he's been running, all the sliding he's been doing, he may have just ripped off some skin.
He's reaching back there. He talked with Dave Clark.
The way he's running, that's not I got a bad hammy. A sprint he just made from second to third.
Carlos Lee will try to drive him home. He's fouled out to the first baseman in the second inning. Strike one to El Caballo.
And we got a man on third. This is a rally.
Yes, it is tonight. Very unusual. And he's going to score on this. Carlos Lee, two-run homer. 2-0 Astros as Lee hits number 25. 94 runs batted in for El Caballo. A bunt and a blast. The Astros get 2 runs.
Carlos now 6 RBI away from 100. So a high breaking ball for a called strike. Came back with another breaking pitch. And it floated over the inner half. It's one that's about halfway to home plate. And you're out there in the mound going, please stay in the ballpark. Please, can I please have this one back?
So Carlos makes it a 2-0 lead. Miguel Tejada takes ball 1. He grounded out to third. That's the 24th homer surrendered by Ohlendorf in 167 innings. Fastball evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Carlos's third long ball of this homestand. Hunter Pence has also hit 3. The best homestand of the year for the Astros with 6 wins and 2 losses so far. White Sox in 10 innings beat the Angels in Anaheim 4-3. Bobby Jenks won that one, beating Brian Fuentes.
And Aflac trivia has inspired me.
Oh no.
I might have to start a new game.
Okay. Do you like that format?
Well, I like the concept. I'm kind of a more or less thing. Has it been more Michael Bourne runs scored? Or more Lance Berkman walks this year?
All right, we're taking it to a whole new level then. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, it's close. Lance has walked 87 times. Michael has stolen 89 bases. Runs scored, not stolen bases. Brain's just not functioning properly these days.
Well, it doesn't always work for all of us. There's a ground ball to third, and LaRoche takes care of that one. And it's 2 runs, 2 hits. Matsui dropped down a beautiful bunt, and Carlos Lee relied on brute force to make it 2-0. Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by AT&T, by the Ford F-150, and by Jack Daniels. The bobblehead collection of Steve Perry, the visiting clubhouse manager. It is extensive, maybe the most extensive ever seen. Your Texas Ford dealers show you the league leaders now, the most outfield assists in the National League. It's Hunter Pence, Matt Kemp, and Niger Morgan, all with 13. Then Michael Bourne, Elijah Dukes, Jeff Francoeur with 11. And earlier tonight, Carlos Lee got his 9th.
And the group we just saw there, not exclusively, but for the most part, the one thing they have in common is foot speed. You think about outfield assists and immediately pick the guys with the big arms. It's the guys with the quick feet that get the balls in a position to make throws.
There you go. Line drive hit to right field by Cedeno. The Pirates' 3rd hit of the night, and they get the leadoff man on for the first time in an inning. Now we get some bonus trivia from JD. You supplied this, JD?
Well, we were talking Idaho earlier. And the only all-time Astro born in Idaho.
George Throop. No, that's not right. Idaho. Harmon Killebrew was from Idaho. He's not the answer to that question. Ramon Vasquez walked earlier.
Hey, Jimmy Joyce. Must be the camera angle.
It could be.
Maybe he's got a sore throat, doesn't want to yell, strike! Is that two-seamer? Running off the edge. Adjust the sights a little bit. Vasquez has done a lot of damage against the Astros over the years.
359 lifetime. That is a lot of damage. And there's a little bit more. A dunker into right center, but he's going to try to stretch it to 2, and Michael Bourne throws back in. Tony Beasley sending Cedeno. Relay to the plate, not in time. And the Pirates are on the board, trailing 2-1. This time Beasley does make a good call. Cedeno scoring on an RBI double by Vasquez.
Vasquez continues his good work against the Astros, and if you're Tony Beasley, you can't be gun shy just because you had a runner thrown out. So assess the situation. Cedeno runs well. He saw the ball in the alley. And even though there's nobody out, Beasley backpedaling, watching the play develop. Said, sure, go on ahead. And he scored easy.
Home to make it 2-1. Now a bunt situation for Ohlendorf. At second, nobody out. He bunts third base line. Picked up by Berkman. Long throw there to Matsui. And the sacrifice is the 4th of the year for Ohlendorf. Vasquez to third, 1 out.
And Big Ross failed to get the bunt down last time. Bunted foul for a strikeout. This time he gets a nice bunt down and very little margin for error because Puma was all over it.
Yeah, that was perfectly placed.
And I don't know how well Ohlendorf handles the bat. I don't think he's done much with the bat this year. So, 073, he's got 4 hits. Because, boy, with a man on second and the first baseman that close, I'd be tempted to go ahead and swing.
Infield in now for McCutcheon. Check swing roller. Berkman will try to get in with the tag, and he does.
Lance showing unbelievable range in this inning. He picked up that bunt. It was basically on the third baseline. And then on that little ground ball has the speed to run down one of the fastest guys in the game. Obviously, he's got a little bit of a head start. This is a tough play when you're running away from the play with a runner on third base.
The big Puma pounced.
Boy, Puma's got on the prowl here.
He got his prey. Now here's ball 1 to LaRoche. He's 0 for 2. So the runner at third holding on the play. Vasquez, and now in a 2-1 ball game, the Astros hope to maintain that lead by getting LaRoche. Garrett Jones on deck.
If Vasquez had tried to score, that would have been a very difficult play for Lance to make. He's sprinting towards McCutcheon. To be able to slam on the brakes and make an accurate throw home would have been an awfully tough play.
It's in for a strike for Moeller. That makes it 2-1 for Bryant. Cleveland leads Kansas City 2-1 at Cleveland. They're in the bottom of the fourth inning. A lot of rain the last few days. Rainouts. Foul away. The Rangers got rained out, as did the Red Sox last night. So Oklahoma got quite a bit of rain, and northern Texas apparently. We know central Texas got quite a bit as well. And there's a delay right now. Seattle at Texas. Brandon Morrow supposedly pitching against Kevin Millwood if they can get it in.
Hey, you don't want to play Seattle on a rainy night. That's their natural climate. Tough in the rain.
Oh.
Get all hopped up on Starbucks. He sprains it. Who is from Idaho that played for the Astros?
No idea. Pat House. In Boise.
Pat House had the career 2-1 record, 7.08 ERA in 24 games, 11 starts.
We should have been able to come up with that.
I had a list of Idahoans up, but I had no idea which one of them played for the Astros.
Who is Pat House? A pitcher?
Yeah. Kenny Schramm is from Idaho. Former big league pitcher, now is the president of the Corpus Club, correct?
Yes. Didn't realize he was an Idahoan. That'll tie it 2-2 on the single by LaRoche. He takes a big turn and then jams on the brakes as Bourne gets it back in. RBI number 52.
And Kenny Schramm tells a great story from his playing days. I think he was with the Twins and maybe Cleveland. He pitched for both those clubs, I believe, and he was pitching against the Yankees. I think he was when he was with the Twins because I think Butch Weiniger was catching. And, Ricky Henderson, Mattingly, Reggie Jackson, I can't remember who the characters were, but they went base hit, double, home run, whatever it was. Like first four guys all reach. And pitching coach came out to the mound and turned to Weiniger and said, how's the stuff? And Butch said, I don't know. I haven't caught one yet. Everything he threw up there, they hit.
Ball one to Jones. He's hit a fly ball to center and grounded out to second base. Milwaukee is scoring in the top of the first at Arizona. 1 run home. Brewers still batting. Line drive to center field by Jones.
This game has taken an ugly turn here in the fifth. So the Pirates get their third look at Brian Moeller. One of the guys at the bottom that got it started, it was their second look. Now the lineup turns over. LaRoche and Jones both third at bats out Bryant. And that changeup starting to float a little bit and staying up in the zone some. And go back to the Vasquez at bat. After Cedeno hit that leadoff single to right, Vasquez came up and Bryant made 2 real good pitches. Jim Joyce called them both balls. Ryan fell behind 2-0 and had to give in, and that's when Vasquez hit the double. Sometimes when you start to get squeezed a little bit like that, you tend to get a little more aggressive and are willing to get more of the plate.
Ryan Domet has grounded out and walked. Domet looks at ball one. Sammy Hervasio has just started to throw in the Astros bullpen. Pitcher spot could come up in the bottom of the fifth inning if the Astros get a man on. Now back, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Moeller in his last 6 starts has gone 5 innings in 2 of those, 5 1/3. 5 2/3 twice, and 6 innings. He's only at 75 pitches tonight, though, as Hervasio gets loose.
Yeah, I think Brian's one of those guys that No, he's a very smart pitcher. It's great location, but his stuff is just, it's a little below average. So I think the reason why he comes out of games earlier isn't so much because he's tired. It's just you don't want to give that other club one more look in a tight game, that third or fourth at bat sometimes against a guy like Brian who relies on tricking you early on and locating his stuff. And maybe he loses just a little bit, and that can be a real difference maker.
Rip foul. Still a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Roy Oswalt plans on making his next start at Cincinnati. The Astros open the road trip there Monday night. It'll be Wandy Rodriguez and Bronson Arroyo. Tuesday night, Roy goes against Kip Wells. Wednesday night, it's Bud Norris and Justin Lair. Two balls and 2 strikes. Troy leads Toronto 3-2 after 4 in Detroit. Curtis Granderson connected for his 27th homer. And for Toronto, Rod Barajas belted number 18. Well, these rainouts could really have an impact now. There should be some off days for May-Cups, but with Boston being rained out last night and Texas, that could create a logjam for those 2 wild card contestants toward the end of the year.
We could probably find a neutral site for them to play.
How about Miller Park?
Yeah, that'd be good.
They have a roof. Inside, and it's 3-2 now. Hastings Millage on deck. Dodgers and Giants play later tonight. Vicente Padilla to go against Jonathan Sanchez. Runners go, and it's foul. Dodgers hammered away at the Giants last night. Giants are now under the gun. They trail Los Angeles by 7.5, and they trail Colorado by 5.5 for the wild card. Colorado is now 82-60.
The Giants 5.5 back, 5 back in the loss column. 21 ball games to play, so they're in deep trouble. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Roach at second, Jones at first, running, and it's a swing and a miss for a strikeout to end the 5th inning. Big out for Moeller. That keeps it tied. After the Pirates get 2 runs on 4 hits, they strand 2, and it's 2-2.
And on Friday, September 25th, make sure you arrive early as the first 10,000 fans will receive an Astros cap collectible courtesy of AT&T. This is the finale of a 4-piece set. Then stick around after the game for everybody's favorite Friday night fireworks, of course, weather permitting. For more information, go to Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Bill?
Thank you, Bart. Pirates 2, Astros 2. 6 hits for Pittsburgh, 2 for Houston. Hunter Pence bats in the bottom of the 5th inning. He grounded out to third earlier. He looks at ball 1. Baltimore beat the Yankees 7-3 at Yankee Stadium today. 1-1 strike.
Ohlendorf with a steady diet of fastballs to Hunter here. And Hunter's not used to seeing that from right-handed pitchers. They're usually throwing him breaking pitches away.
Line and caught by the first sacker, Pierce. Oh, he actually trapped it. Didn't get the out call until it was stepped on first from Bill Miller. Miller did not give a signal, so Pierce went over and stepped on first, and then he got the out call.
Yeah, I thought he caught it. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Either way, he's going to get the out. Miller said, you may have caught it, but I didn't see you catch it, so you better run to the bag.
Yeah. Jeff Keppinger looks at strike 1. He hit a fly ball to right in the 3rd. Chris Costa's on deck. Ryan Roberts hit a grand slam in that Orioles win over the Yankees in a 6-run 2nd inning. No balls, 2 strikes. A.J. Burnett was the victim. He goes to 11-9. Brian Mattis, the winner, is now 5-2. That was Roberts' 15th homer. Nolan Reimold also hit his 15th. That one stays up, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Ohlendorf last year had a 1-4 major league record with a 6.46 ERA. So this is his year to really establish himself as a major league pitcher, and he's doing it. Rip foul. Still 1-2. Didn't he get one earlier? We had a shot of him anyway. Not sure if he got a ball. He's in a good spot.
Yeah, there's a lot of action down there.
Yeah, he's going to have several opportunities to make plays.
Make sure the ball's foul before you catch it.
Still a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Now Seattle and Texas have started. Seattle batting in the top of the 1st inning. Milwaukee and Arizona 1-0 at the end of 1. Milwaukee leading there. Milwaukee trails the Astros by a 1.5 games. Ohlendorf breaks one off, gets a strikeout on Keppinger. That's number 2.
Well, just 2 hits, 2 base runners for the Astros in this game. The bunt single and the home run by Lee. Ohlendorf has not given the Astros much to swing at here tonight. Occasionally he'll float a breaking ball that'll hang a little bit, but for the most part he's been awfully tough to figure out. A good 2-seam fastball, getting in on the knuckles of the right-handed hitters. And if you cheat and try to turn on an inside fastball and he counters with a breaking pitch, and there's not a whole lot you can do.
Jeff Fulcino's warming up in the Astros bullpen. Chris Coste, the batter, he flied to left. On Hopper to third. Andy LaRoche takes care of it. And in the 5th, the Astros go quickly to keep the game tied 2-2. It's our Dodge Grab Live feature. Here's Wesley Wright telling us his bucket list.
I would like to go to Paris before I leave this earth. A lot of people have been trying to get me to go on a cruise, but I would like to take a kind of a, like around the world cruise, go to different places and just enjoy my last couple of months. I've never been skiing, so that would be kind of cool.
And Wesley Wright is warming up, not for a cruise, but for a pitching appearance.
There's Paris, Texas. He could just go there.
That's
Save
true.
himself a lot of money.
It's a good spot.
Go to Moscow.
Millage, Pierce, and Cedeno to lead it off to get it going in the 6th inning. Lasting's Millage is 1 for 2. So Brian Moeller might not make it through this frame. If he does, though, the Astros can pinch hit in the bottom half. They want to keep their options open, it would appear, with Wright warming up. Fulcino was throwing in the last inning. Certainly, if you're Moeller, you want to get these 3 outs, keep it tied, and then if you are leaving for a pinch hitter, you can still get the win. Plus, you give your club this bonus 6th inning. No balls, 2 strikes.
Their 6th inning has been a dangerous one for Brian this year. Opposing hitters batting .365 against Brian in the 6th inning with a .683 slugging percentage. So that just speaks to what we were talking about earlier. The more a lineup sees you, typically the more dangerous it becomes.
It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And a lot of, there's some guys, their stuff is so good. The guys with a great fastball, throwing 98 miles an hour with good movement. They can get you out early with just that and kind of save something to show you later. Guys like Brian, who aren't real hard throwers, they have to use all their weapons early.
Tejada to his left. Good play, 1 out.
So by the time you see him for the 3rd or 4th time in a game, you pretty much know all of his stuff. You've seen his fastball, you've got it timed, you know how it moves.
Good Saturday night crowd here. Steve Pierce bats. He's 1 for 2. Pirates, after Moeller got the first 2 out in the 4th inning, got a walk to Domet, then singles by Millage and Pierce, but Domet was caught trying to get back to third base for the final out. Astros got a break on that. And then the Buccos came out in the 5th inning, got a single from Cedeno, RBI double Vasquez, sac bunt, and 1 out later, LaRoche and Jones put singles together. So they have 6 hits in the last 2 1/3 innings off Moeller. No balls, 2 strikes. Lions at 87 pitches for the night. Upper deck shot.
Did you catch that ball?
Couldn't tell. She wound up with it.
There's a pretty wide gap between winding up with it and catching it. I'm looking for skill level here.
Well, let's see if we can find it. Yep, she caught it. Had it all the way. Swing and a miss, and Pierce is down on strikes. Number 4 for Moeller.
So far, so good in this would-be treacherous 6th inning for Brian Moeller. A ground out to short and a strikeout. Pierce way out of the zone after that slider.
Now it's Cedeno. Cedeno singled to right and came around to score in the 5th. He's 1 for 2.
5 home runs with the Buccos. He had 5 with Seattle. His best power year as a major leaguer. Line drive to right field last time up to get things started in that 2-run 5th inning.
Brian Moeller at home this year, 3-6 with a 6.03 ERA. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Which is if Hanley Ramirez of the Marlins will become the first National League shortstop to win the batting title since Pittsburgh's Dick Groat 1960. 2 balls and a strike. It was a magical year for the Buccos. Ground ball at the middle, another hit for Cedeno. He's 2 for 3. And he provides more problems for Moeller now, bringing up Vasquez.
Cedeno not a great base stealer, but you got to keep an eye on him.
Dewey Robinson's on the phone to the bullpen. 94 pitches for Moeller, and Vasquez has walked and driven in that run with a double last time up.
I'm going to give Brian at least one more hitter. They got the pitcher on deck. So, unless they pinch hit, I'm going to let him try to finish this inning.
Well, the other National League shortstops who won batting titles were Archie Vaughn and Honus Wagner. He won 7.
More recently in the American League, Michael Young in 2005, Nomar Garcia-Parra in 99 and 2000. An A-Rod fella in 1996 with the Mariners. A lot of shortstops have won batting crowns. Andy Ramirez, if he continues to play that position, see him racking up 3 or 4.
Yeah, he could.
Great player.
He came into the night with a huge lead over Albert Pujols, 360 to 328. Bob Helton third at 326. Runner going here. Throw from Coast. Not in time. Stolen base by Cedeno. Number 2.
I think they'll probably put Vasquez on now. Pitch to Ohlendorf.
Makes sense. 1-1 the count. Yep, that's going to happen. Ohlendorf, who in this game has struck out and sacrificed bunted.
And this, you know, people might think, well, gee, that was dumb of the Pirates because now they got their pitcher coming up there with 2 outs. But I think John Russell, his thinking is, well, one, I got a fighting chance. Ohlendorf's, he might get a knock and drive in that run. But what are my chances of scoring that runner from first base with 2 outs anyway? I either need a Vasquez double or 2 singles, one of which would be Ohlendorf. So we might as well run, get Ohlendorf to the plate, and if nothing else happens, I've got my leadoff man to start the all-important 7th inning.
Ohlendorf moves into the batter's box after the conference with Coase and his pitcher Moeller.
You're hesitant to run sometimes because you don't want to take the bat out of the hands of a slugger who might hit one out of the ballpark or get a better chance of getting an extra base hit. Ramon Vasquez, although he's been very good against the Astros and he's a good major league hitter, does not fall into that category.
Bouncer, Moeller over to play it. Throws out Ohlendorf, and it works to get the Astros a 0 in the 6th inning. 1 hit, 2 men left. It's tied 2-2. Inning time now for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Freezing a Carlos Lee swing on a breaking pitch. An 0-1 pitch goes in the air toward the Landry's Crawford boxes. It winds up as home run number 25 for El Caballo. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. That made it 2-0 Houston. Now it's 2-2. And the Astros will pinch hit for Brian Moeller. Leaves the game after 6 very good innings, allowing 7 hits, 2 runs. He had 3 walks, one of those intentional. Struck out 4.
Solid as a rock again tonight, Brian Moeller. And what you described his season, you would just kind of say steady as she goes. Hasn't been spectacular, but for the most part, keeps you in the game. Nice to see him get rewarded with a W here tonight.
Yes, it would. He threw 101 pitches. The 5th inning, 4 hits, 2 runs for Pittsburgh. That tied it with LaRoche driving in the tying run. Now it's Darren Erstad pinch hitting for Moeller. Erstad, the native of North Dakota, comes up to try to get it started. With a .203 batting average, 2 homers, 11 runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, .216, 11 hits, 51 at bats, including a homer, 6 runs batted in. Darren is 0 for 4 on this homestand. Good man to have leading off an inning. And he fouls at strike 1 with Bourne and Matsui to follow. Ohlendorf in his last start, that 11 strikeout game at St. Louis in 8 innings last Saturday, struck out the side on just 9 pitches. He and A.J. Burnett, the 2 major league pitchers who have done that this year. 103 pitches and a beauty last time. He's had extra rest since then. Pitching well tonight. 1-1. We discovered today Darren Erstad is the all-time leader among major league outfielders in career fielding percentage now. It used to be Terry Poole.
TP, you better make a comeback.
And we'll have a feature on Terry Poole's career tomorrow on Astros Live at 12:30. Darren, 996 career fielding percentage. Moeller threw 59 strikes of his 101 pitches. To left field and shallow. Millage coming over, laying out for it. Lastings Millage snagged it. Tremendous play.
Well, we talked about Millage and McCutchen at the start of the ball game, how it was going to be difficult to drop something in front of them, and Millage just proved it. Ocho Cinco making a fine play there. And Erstad made a bid for a bloop base hit, perhaps even 2. But it dies in the glove of Lastings Millage.
Yes, it did, and he got there in a hurry. Really nice effort. Now Michael Bourne is 0 for 3.
Speed will really pay off in the big yard that the Pirates play in Pittsburgh.
Pirates are assured of their 17th consecutive losing season. 1 ball, 1 strike to Michael. That's the longest string of any team before major North American pro sports. Fouled away 1-2. During their 17 seasons of futility, their record is 1,158 wins and only a .436 winning percentage. They scored 1,546 fewer runs than their opponents during those 17 years. Their best season since the last winning year of '92 was that finish in '97 when they were battling the Astros in September, and they finished 79 and 83 that year. Ohlendorf gets a strikeout. That's number 3.
Continue to work off-speed pitches to Michael. Just a slow curveball and catch him out in front.
They're remembering number 2000, which got him into the Mecukai. For Caswell Matsui, well, he got a bunt single in the 4th inning and scored on the Lee homer. And there's strike 1. That was in Milwaukee when he got hit number 2000 of his career professionally, including Japan. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matsui also has turned 85 double plays this year, the most since Craig Biggio had 88 in 2002 by an Astros second baseman. Fly ball center, McCutchen gliding back. And after 6, it's Pittsburgh 2, Houston 2. And the advantage of the Pirates, the Astros have the lead on a 2-run homer by Carlos Lee. But Ross Ollendorf has been tough. Now the Astros go to the bullpen and bring in Jeff Fulcino.
Well, Big Jeff on for the 50th time this year. He's 5-4, ERA of 3.42. Had a couple days off after a pretty busy stretch. 68 in the 3rd innings. He struck out 53 men. Done a nice job.
And he faces McCutchen leading it off and throws ball 1.
I got to believe Jeff Fulcino has found a spot in the Astros bullpen for 2010, barring a trade.
Bunted. Fulcino bare hands, throws and nips him at first. Nice to keep him off base.
Yeah, with his speed, he could turn this into a double with a stolen base. Fulcino quickly off the mark. Not a great bunt. And McCutchen kind of stayed there, almost like a sacrifice bunt, just trusting his speed, not worrying too much about the technique. Just thinking, if I get it down with my speed, I've got a chance. And he did have a chance. He didn't realize that the big man was so agile bouncing off that hill.
Yeah. Handled it perfectly. There's strike 1 on LaRoche, who tied the game with a single in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3. Fulcino pitched a hitless inning against the Phillies here Tuesday. Well, he's had a little more rest, as JD indicated. He was on a furious pace for appearances. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now there are more guys in the bullpen. It's well stocked for September. Chance to spread the work around a little bit more.
Jeff appeared in 1 game for the Florida Marlins in 2006, 12 games with the Royals last year. So I'm guessing he's never gone to spring training. Any kind of assurance that he's got a job at the big league level. But again, I believe that will be the case heading into next season with the good work he's done here this year.
He's really earned it. And he gets a swing and a miss and a strikeout from LaRoche. Got his first major league win against the Pirates here, June 7th.
Perfectly placed split finger pitch down and away. Tough pitch to execute. Thrown to the glove side. The pitcher throwing to his glove side, an off-speed pitch is a tough pitch to make.
Garrett Jones is 1 for 3. Taking strike one. You know, Jeff Fulcino was saying a few nights ago that he feels that has made a tremendous difference. The split finger for him this year, and feels pretty good about the way he's positioned himself for the Astros bullpen for next season with his work. And he said his arm has had absolutely no problems bouncing back with the appearances he's had this year. No balls, 2 strikes, and if he's going to take on the important role that it would seem he might be ticketed to have next year, that arm resiliency would be a major factor. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I don't know. I guess all pitchers are different, but I was never a big fan of a catcher coming out of his crouch like that when he wanted to throw a high fastball. I always thought the hitter could feel that, if not flat out see it. Sense the movement behind him.
Matsui for out number 3 in the middle of the 7th inning. It's Pirates 2, Astros 2.
Here at Minute Maid, here's a pretty neat deal. Major League Baseball and the players are donating tickets to upcoming Astros games as part of the MLB and Players Give Back program. As a reward for their contributions, charities, civic and service groups, churches and schools are invited to attend a game, and all the tickets are free. Call the Astros at 713-259-8500 for your group's free Astros tickets. Bill?
Good plan. Thank you. And as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning, the fans have had their stretch, and they've watched a 2-2 ball game to this point. It's Berkman, Lee, and Tejada to bat for the Astros in the home 7th against Ross Ohlendorf, who has allowed only 2 hits, a bunt single by Matsui and a 2-out, 2-run homer by Lee in the 4th. The crowd's Berkman, and it's ball 1 to Lance. Lance has lined to left and fly to right. Ohlendorf has never beaten the Astros, 0-4 with an ERA above 8 when this game started. But he has family and friends apparently in the seats. We've seen evidence of that. And he has really thrown the ball well tonight. He retired the first 10 batters in the game before the Matsui bunt single. Since the Lee homer, he's not given up any more base runners. Berkman outside the left field line. Hits one just short of the upper deck.
Who are the Pirates running out there tomorrow? Who's their pitcher tomorrow afternoon?
Let's see. Tomorrow is Paul Mahalam. Felipe Paulino. 7 straight have been set down by Ohlendorf since the lead long ball. It's 3-1 now to Berkman. And the way Lance has been swinging the bat, Ohlendorf may not feel all that comfortable right now, but he's only thrown 74 pitches in this game.
You hate to walk the leadoff man in the bottom half of the 7th inning of a tied game, but you also hate to throw Lance Berkman a meatball right here.
3-2.
Got an inside corner call from Jimmy Joyce.
Yes, he did.
See, this is years ago, and I mean before I pitched. I don't think pitchers would throw a 3-1 fastball in the inside corner. He always went away in the dangerous count. And then see 3-2, he just tried to overthrow that one. If you're going to try to overthrow your fastball and throw 140 miles an hour, you probably ought to just come with an off-speed pitch there.
Yeah. What's on tap with the Astros is brought to you by Bud Light. Paul Mahalam, Felipe Paulino. Tomorrow, coverage begins at 12:30 on Fox Sports Houston.
I remember watching games in the 80s when I was playing and hearing announcers who played in the previous generation, and they would always make that point. At 3-1, you go down and away. Well, you can't afford to pitch that way now because hitters dive and cover the outside part so well. In the old days, 3-1, hitters were looking to pull. They were looking middle in. They were looking to pull off the ball so they could get the head out in front. That's where their power was. Players now bigger and stronger can reach out and drive pitches on the outside part of the plate, out of the ballpark the other way, or even hook them.
Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach, is on his way to join battery mates Ohlendorf and Bowman. Kerrigan, well known throughout his many years as a pitching coach. A lot of them in Montreal.
Had a turn as a manager in Boston for a while.
That's true. John Russell checking his lineup card. Barry Barshow there as the bench coach. Jeff Bannister's here with the Pirate Club. That happens sometimes when they come to Houston. He's from this area. He's their minor league field coordinator in his 7th year in that job. He's been in the Pirate organization 24 years. He's really pleased with the athletes they have now in the organization. Bigger pitchers, he says. They used to have a lot of smaller pitchers. And you would see them not size up very well against the opposition when they go to instructional league. But he said now we're drafting sizable pitchers. 1-0 to lead. 2 balls, no strikes. It's the Pirates 2, the Astros 2 here in Houston. Game 2 of a 3-game series. Carlos Lee hit a 2-run homer in the 4th to make it 2-0 Astros. And then the Pirates put together 4 hits and 2 runs in the 5th.
Fans not happy at all that the Pirates are taking all this time. Ohlendorf in a tie ball game. He got the go-ahead run on first base. He's got a guy who took him deep earlier in the ball game in the batter's box.
He backs away, takes ball 3. He'll be, of course, given a green light here in this situation to exercise his own judgment on the 3-0 pitch. Had a 2-run double off Ohlendorf in Pittsburgh back in April. Looking back. Mike Hampton scheduled to have surgery on his left rotator cuff on Tuesday in New York City with Dr. David Alchek.
Carlos has swung at 1-3-0 pitch all year.
Yeah.
He was 1 for 1 on 3-0 with 13 walks.
Only 80 pitches have come from Russ Ohlendorf in this game. Now it's 3-2. Lost to Randy Wolf twice last year. That's his second straight pairing with Brian Moeller this season. Hot is on deck. 3-2 pitch coming, and he looks over at Berkman. And throws that way. The Astros have run effectively this year against the Pirates, stealing 10 bases in 12 tries. Berkman's going, big jump. Fly ball center field. McCutchen has it, 1 out. Ohlendorf has had to pitch only a few pitches from the stretch. Matsui bunted in the 4th. Lee pitched to Berkman from the stretch, and then Lee hit the 2-run homer. Now working here from the stretch. Berkman took off, but Ohlendorf got a big out. Now it's Tejada, 0 for 2, 2 grounders to third base.
Pitchers, excuse me, have been very effective against Miggy, pounding him in with fastballs. You leave it middle away or even off the plate, he can go out and hammer that pitch, but he's had a hard time turning on inside fastballs, and Ohlendorf has worked effectively inside tonight all night long on the right-handed hitters. I would think that's where they're going to try to get him out. Setting up away there. If they throw him a strike in the outside part of the plate, I think they're doing him a favor.
Berkman dives back in. That's a close play. Pence on deck. Pirates have left 7 on base. The Astros have left none.
Working Lance like he's Vince Coleman.
Yeah, he really is. Well, Pirates are fully aware of the fact that Tejada has grounded into 28 double plays this year. Make sure they keep that double play in order. Give them a shot at a big one here. And they strike one to Miggy. The Astros have the second best home record in the National League since June 1st, going 32-17. Only the Rockies are better. Tight one here tonight. And it snowballs 2 strikes to Miggy. Brewers are pouring it on at Arizona, leading 5-0 now in the bottom of the 3rd for Dave Bush. Casey McGee hit a 2-run shot, his 14th. He's played well at third for Milwaukee. Hard throw to first. That might have hit Berkman. Got away from Pierce a little bit. Ohlendorf has thrown over a number of times on Berkman.
He's shown pretty quick feet and good hard pick out throw. Hits him right in the backside.
He was lucky that one didn't skip up the right field line.
Lucky he has his batting gloves in his back pocket.
Back in the old days, you used to be able to hit the base runner and get him out by throwing the ball at him. Very old days. High to left field. Tejada looks at it. Is it fair? And Miggy Tejada has a 2-run homer to give the Astros a 4-2 lead. Number 11 for Tejada, giving him 74 runs batted in.
worked so hard to keep the double play in order. We talked about Miggy getting beat by inside fastballs lately, and this is what they tried to go in on him, but it's down, and he's able to drop the head on it. Up and in's a tougher pitch to get to, and you see Ohlendorf immediately knows he's in trouble. Watch Miggy drop the head and extend. And just the only question was fair, foul, or chicken sandwich.
It was almost chicken sandwich. Hunter Pence makes it ball one. Pair of 2-run homers for the Astros. Lee and Tejada accounted for 4 runs on 3 hits for Houston now.
They've had 4 base runners in the game, and they've all scored.
This is crazy. Pops it back.
Got tired of them coming in on tonight. I'm going to look in there.
Get that one way up on the wall. Broken bat into center field for Hunter Pence. He's 1 for 3 tonight now. Ohlendorf at 87 pitches. Jeff Keppinger will be next. He's 0 for 2.
And last night it was the 7th inning where the Astros ran away and hit from the Pirates, turning a 3-1 game into a 9-1 game in the 7th. And John Russell has seen enough.
Russell out to go to the bullpen. Hunter Pence has 14 hits on the homestand and 35 at bats. Miguel Tejada has made it 4-2 Houston with the home run. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. That brings you into a 4-2 game. At the bottom of the 7th inning, a pair of 2-run homers. Lee and Tejada have delivered for the Astros, forcing the pitching change to Joel Hanrahan. He's 1-4 with a 5.16 ERA.
Hanrahan worked in last night's ball game through 21 pitches, showed an overpowering fastball, clocked at 101 miles an hour on one occasion. Very sharp, yet erratic slider.
Pitch out, Hunter Pence going, the throw high, he's out. And the tag from Vasquez, caught stealing from 2 to 4.
We'll sniff that one out. Gomez slides out. Hanrahan delivers the ball to him. And Still made it pretty close down there at second base.
Yes. Now Keppinger puts one in the air foul to even the count at 1-1.
Man, that could have gone either way.
Sure could have.
Tag applied up around the elbow, and the hand may have gotten to the bag.
Up the middle, Cedeno fields it, throws out Keppinger. And in the 7th, the Astros get 2 runs on 2 hits with nobody left. It's 4-2 Astros, moving to the 8th.
Pirates by a score of 4-2 Saturday, September 26th, second to last game of the regular season. The Reds are in town. You want to be on hand for this one. A 2010 Chevy Traverse will go home with one lucky fan, valued at over $39,000. How about that? Catch a ball game and drive home with a brand new set of wheels. Astros.com or 1-877-9-ASTROS for tickets.
Saturday night, a little buzz in the stands. They've seen a good game, 4-2. The Astros with a pair of 2-run homers have the lead. LaTroy Hawkins comes in. Jeff Fulcino in 1 inning allowed no hits, no runs with no walks and a strikeout. He's in line to be the winning pitcher. Hawkins works to Ryan Domit. Domit is 0 for 2 with a walk. And there's strike 1 from Hawk, who worked last night. 1 inning, 1 hit, no runs.
Hey, Jeff Fulcino's got a chance to pick up another W.
That would be his 6th. Hawk with a 2.43 ERA has pitched well. Roll to Berkman. Tossing to Hawkins. 1 out. Hawk had the week off since last Sunday. Then he pitched last night. This is his 4th outing of the homestand.
That'd be a good ratio for Fulcino if he gets this win. 69 in the 3rd innings and 6 wins. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, it is. Well, he's one of those guys who's going to be in probably in the 6th and 7th innings of a lot of close games. So if things swing in the Astros' favor, he can be in that spot to get some victories. Lasting's Millage is 1 for 3. And there's strike 1 to him.
Yeah, that's a lot of games turn in the 6th and 7th inning. We talked about it earlier. You know, the starters tiring. Hitters are getting the 3rd look at them. You're not to that point in the bullpen where you bring in your best dominant guys.
Out into center field, a looping hit. And Millage is 2 for 4. Hit number 8 for the Buccos. Steve Pierce is next. He's 1 for 3. Chris Coast out to the mound to talk with the veteran LaTroy Hawkins. He's 36. Last year he had 57 appearances. And when the Astros got him from the Yankees, he was lights out with a 2-0 record, a 0.43 ERA as an Astro. Brandon Moss comes up now to pinch hit for Steve Pierce. Moss was in the starting lineup last night, going 0 for 4 as the right fielder. Moss has had 327 at bats. He looks at ball one. Former Red Sox player, 6 for 28 as a pinch hitter, including a home run, with those overall numbers this year that you see for Brandon Moss.
Troy Hawkins, like Brian Muller, has been much better against left-handed hitters this year than right. Lefties hitting just 202 off Hawk. 1 home run and 104 at bats.
That is outstanding work. Look at all the good left-handed hitters in the National League. The ones he's faced. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Looking at those numbers, if I'm John Russell, I might think about sending a righty up there.
True.
Righties are hitting 297 off LaTroy, with 6 of the 7 home runs he's allowed. Of course, the right-handed bats, Bixler, Diaz, Cruz, they don't have the power credentials that this guy has.
Folks with the Pirates talk about Moss's power. He generally puts on quite a display in batting practice. 2 balls, 2 strikes. From Monroe, Georgia, an 8th round pick of the Red Sox in 2002. He came to Pittsburgh in the Jason Bay deal. Dodgers nothing, Giants nothing. They're in the top of the 2nd. In San Francisco, Vicente Padilla versus Jonathan Sanchez. The Giants really need to get to work if they're to get back in the picture and become a playoff team after looking pretty strong most of this season.
You know, the Rockies have just been so good for so long. It's just tough to hang with them. I don't know. Take a look here, see what the Giants have left with the Rockies.
They play each other starting Monday. Lincecum's supposed to pitch on through into right field for a single, and the pinch hitter Moss comes through. Millage to second. First and second, 1 out now for Cedeno.
We showed you that 4 league leaders earlier with the outfield assists. We talked about how it was all about foot speed, probably more so than even arm speed or accuracy. And boy, that was a great example. I don't know if we'll see it here, how quickly Hunter Pence gets on this ball. With the speedy, lasting Millage thinking first to third as this ball is hit, but Hunter charging hard on it in no time, and Millage has to pull up at second base. You get a look at it here. Watch Hunter come full speed ahead, taking away any extra bases from Millage.
So Daniel looks at it. It's ball 1.
Probably a small thing, but under the category of playing the game the right way. Now, Rockies at San Francisco Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. That's the only shot the Giants have at them between now and the end of the year. Rockies finish that final weekend in L.A.
2 balls, no strikes. They might be in one of those situations like the Astros and Cardinals were in at the end of the 0-1 season, where they're both going to make it in the playoffs, but one will be the division champ and the other the wild card.
Yeah, and if that's the case, how hard do you press for it that final weekend, the way you use your starting pitchers and your bullpen?
Exactly.
Win the division, you may stay home. have home field advantage for at least one series. A wild card certainly would not. So that would be a fact. I mean, it obviously would be worth winning, but
that happened to the Astros the last day of the 0-1 season. They decided to go with Shane Reynolds in St. Louis. They won the game. They won the division. But then they did not have him for game 1 of the playoffs at home.
Yeah. Probably not a good idea.
Now back, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, the Rockies are trying to stretch their winning streak to 9 tonight when they meet San Diego in a few minutes. And they won another game in the final at bat last night, 4-1. They got a 3-run double in the 9th with 2 outs from Yorvit Torrealba. Now it's 3-2 with Hawkins struggling here. He got 1 out, then 2 hits, now a 3-2 count on Cedeno.
Mr. Golden Bobble is ready in the bullpen.
Yes, he is.
Jose Valverde bobblehead night here.
And players usually perform well on their bobblehead nights. He may get a chance. In fact, he may get an 8th inning chance. Bouncer goes foul. Hawkins would love to get a double play ball here and take that decision out of the equation for Cecil Cooper. The pitcher spot is due up second in the last of this inning. Chris Post to lead off. Nine hits for the Pirates, 4 for the Astros. Flared, and Berkman is over into foul territory. 2 outs. Ramon Vasquez has walked twice and delivered an RBI double, scored a run. Now Coast goes out to talk with Hawkins. Hawkins last night faced the top of the order. He did not work to Vasquez last night. Ramon was not in that game. John Russell waiting for this key confrontation as his club tries to battle from behind, trailing by 2. They did it once in the 5th inning. They tied it after being down by 2. Stays up, and it's ball 1.
Millage with outstanding speed out there at second base. He should score on any base hit. The guy you're most concerned with, Brandon Moss, he represents the tying run at first. He's getting a huge lead. Lance playing deep to cover the field now, sneaking in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. It might almost be one of those pickoff opportunities for Chris Coast.
If you would have gone down there 3 times already, you would have thrown one directly to Lance out there in shallow right if need be.
Delwyn Young is on deck. Pitcher spot due up next. Ramon Vasquez 0 for 3 in his career against Hawkins. Foul and out of play, 1 and 2.
And by playing deep and guarding the line, Lance is trying to defend against the double. By playing behind the base runner, what you give up is the chance that if he does hit a double, the base runner's got a better chance of scoring. And he counters that by sneaking in behind him a little bit, as Hopkins said. He tiptoes in. He's trying to make his presence known, get Perry Hill to bark at Moss a little bit. Hey, get back here. He's creeping up on you a little bit.
bouncer to second. That's Sui with the throw to first in time. And it's no runs, 2 hits, 2 men stranded. It's 4-2 Astros. Eighth inning here at Minute Maid Park, where the Astros have won 11 of their last 15. And it's Jesse Chavez coming in for the second straight night of this series. Last night, he gave up 3 runs unearned in 2/3 of an inning. He's 1-4 with a 4.17 ERA.
He's pitched more than any other Pirate this year, in terms of appearances anyway. This is his 65th. Hard-throwing right-hander.
He gave up a 3-run homer to Carlos Lee last night, but the runs were unearned. There had been an error on Ryan Domit earlier in the inning, which was a 6-run inning, and all the runs were unearned for the Astros. Joel Hanrahan in 2/3 of an inning allowed no hits, no runs, with no walks, no strikeouts. Jason Michaels is on deck. Chris Coast the batter. Coast is 0 for 2. Michaels will pinch hit for LaTroy Hawkins. Jesse Chavez delivers ball 1. Ross Ohlendorf in 6 1/3 innings allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, walking 1, fanning 3. Fielded by LaRoche. 1 out. Now Jason Michaels. After the ball game, don't forget Astros Live. The post-game show is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. Bart Ennis and Jimmy Wynn will have all the highlights and analysis. Stay tuned for that. Last night, Jason Michaels came off the bench and threw a walk. He's been doing a lot of good things off the bench the last few weeks. 244 for the season for the former Pirate. 4 homers, 16 driven in. There's strike 1 to him. J. Mike has walked actually 5 times in his last 7 pinch hit plate appearances. Strike for Jesse Chavez, 0-2. And in his last 13 pinch hit plate appearances, he has 5 hits and 5 walks.
Chavez listed at 6'2" at $170.
Cedeno.
Looks like he weighs about 145 pounds, the way those pants are hanging on him.
Sure does. Jack in the Box. League rankings for Michael Bourne, brought to you by Jack in the Box standings. And in steals, he's #1. Triples tied for first. Infield hits first. Average with runners in scoring position, second.
So there's such a thing as a Lou Brock Award or a Maury Wills Award in speed categories. He's your man.
That's not a bad idea. Taps one to first. Whoa! Well, at first, as a pitcher, Chavez gets over there. And That was a little dicey
misdirection play. A little fumble risky.
Yes, it was. Garrett Jones couldn't make a pickup, but they got the out. 4-2. By Bud Light, by the Ford F-150, and by the Progressive Insurance Group.
Hey, everybody. Where are you going? The game's not over.
They're just moving to another area. They're not leaving.
Started early for you.
Well, they know that Jose Valverde's coming in, don't they? And it's a save situation, and it's his bobblehead night. And he has a 2-run lead now. And if the Pirates come up in the 9th inning, and they'll be sending up pinch hitter Delwyn Young. Valverde 4-2, 22 saves in 26 opportunities.
He's got Young then the top of the order. ERA now at 1.91 for Jose. 22 saves for 26 tries. He's really throwing the ball well.
Got a good streak of scoreless appearances going. Young, the pinch hitter now. Switch hitter comes up in a 4-2 game. He was 0 for 2 with a pair of walks last night. Grounds it by Valverde. Over to Matsui. And he gets Young on one pitch. Matsui now has the best fielding percentage for a single season of any Astros second baseman if he can maintain it. 993. Club record 992 was set by Billy Doran in 1987. Now it's McCutchen. McCutchen is 0 for 4.
Billy D, man, could he play?
He really was good.
Wow, you talk about turn a double play.
Very slick. Excellent range. I think playing on the artificial turf really cost him some years. His lower back was a problem for him. Strike one to McCutchen. McCutchen has not reached base in 8 plate appearances so far in this series. Up the right field line, and Hunter Pence hasn't played well.
Illustrations on man. And he got the golden bottle tonight.
Haven't heard. But we do know who our Texaco star performer of the game is. Here he is for this swing of the bat in the 7th inning.
He had not gone deep in a good long while, about 120 at-bats prior to that swing. That's a big one. Should be a game winner. 1 out away.
Last home run, August 7th. Valverde gets strike one on Andy LaRoche. These fans have watched a big-time homestand. The Astros are an out away from going 7-2 on this homestand. Foul ball, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Astros had a 7-3 homestand here in June against Colorado, Pittsburgh, and Chicago.
Pirate hitters not really concerned with trying to work the count against Valverde. They're up there flailing away. Very aggressive. 2 outs, 2 strikes. He's only thrown 5 pitches.
He's not allowed to run in 16 innings, covering his last 14 trips to the mound. That's the longest active streak in the National League. 4th longest of his career. Since Valverde came off the DL, he has a 1.15 ERA with 20 saves. He almost got a swing, but it's called a check swing. Bill Miller. Still has life at 1-2. Good night of entertainment for these folks. Astros didn't have a base runner until 1 out in the 4th. They've been out hit 9-4. In the air, LaRoche bangs the bat down. Tejada underneath. And the Astros make it a 7-2 homestand. Valverde getting his 23rd save. Fulchino gets win number 6. The Astros take this one from the Buccos 4-2. Stay tuned for the MD Anderson postgame show. It's coming up next.